If I handed you this glass, or this one, could you tell me which one came from a natural spring or from my kitchen sink? Could you? Here's the thing, you guys. Most of us already have an opinion about bottled water. Some people swear their favorite brand just tastes better. Others think bottled water is a complete waste of money. Here's what I want to know. If we're paying for bottled water, are we actually getting something better? Because they're not just selling us water, they're selling us purity, electrolytes, minerals, special filtration, and sometimes a pretty hefty price tag. I should probably mention I've worked over 30 years in the public works sector, including as a director. So I've seen firsthand how water is treated, filtered, tested, and delivered. So this is why I'm really curious. What exactly are we paying for? All right, so here's what we're testing today. We have 6 waters and they're definitely not all made the same way. First up is Smartwater. They basically purify the water through vaporous distillation and add electrolytes back in for taste. Aquafina and Dasani are interesting because both start with water from public water systems, then they purify it even further before putting it in a bottle. Then we have Core. It's purified too, but they add minerals and electrolytes back in and market it around having a balanced pH. Evian is completely different. This is natural mineral water that comes from the French Alps. And then we have this guy, the tap water. No fancy bottle, no mountains on the label. It traveled about 15 feet to get here. So now let's get rid of the bottles and see if we can actually tell these things apart. All right, before we bring out the meters or microscope, let's start with something a little more basic, the taste test.
Yup.
I secretly numbered every water, and I've written down which brand matches.
Really?
My granddaughter, Riley, and her job is very simple. Taste all 9, all right? Then pick the one she thinks tastes the worst, and then one she thinks tastes the best. All right, let's go ahead and start with...
Hey, friends.
Let's go ahead and start with number 1. That's number 1 done.
I'm gonna start with number 1. Let's start it.
Okay, number 1 is done. So reaching for number 2.
2.
Dos. Okay, number 3. All right, she's still going. I can't believe it. This is amazing. This is like ESPN. Now she's going for number 5. This is intense. It's building up here. She's almost done.
Guys, last one.
I can't believe you're still doing this. It's amazing. Okay. Do you have to go back and retest or retaste these cups of water? She's going back number 2 for some reason. Okay.
Best.
That's your best?
That's my best.
So she picked this right here. Number 3.
My worst? I think this one's bad.
She picked number 2. All right, so number 3,
Yeah.
her favorite, right? Which was Aquafina. And her worst, number 2, was Evian.
Really?
Yes.
Great.
Well, there, you heard it straight from the fish's mouth. That's all she drinks is water, nothing else, no soda. So
Yeah.
if anybody's an expert, it's her. So
Literally.
she did a great job on all this. High five.
Okay.
All right, taste is one thing. Now I want to see if these waters are actually different. I'm starting with a pH test, which simply tells us how acidic or alkaline each water is. 7 is neutral, below 7 is more acidic, above 7 is more alkaline. Before I tested anything, I calibrated the meters so the readings would actually mean something. First up, Smartwater. Okay, Smartwater, and this one kind of surprised me, you guys. It topped out at 9.6, making it by far the most alkaline water in the test. So Aquafina came in at 6.6, slightly on the acidic side of neutral. Then Core, and this one kind of caught my attention as well. I measured 6.5, which is actually slightly acidic. Dasani landed right at 7.0, basically dead center on the pH scale. Evian came in at 7.5, putting it just slightly on the alkaline side. And finally, my tap water, 7.4, almost identical to Evian. So what the hell is pH actually measuring anyway? So water contains electrically charged particles called ions, and pH is basically a measurement related to the amount of hydrogen ion activity in that water. More hydrogen ion activity pushes the pH lower, making the water more acidic. Less pushes the number higher, making it more alkaline. 7 is neutral, below 7 is acidic, above 7 is alkaline. And you can sometimes taste the difference. More acidic water can taste a little sharper or slightly sour, while more alkaline water can taste a smoother, sometimes a little bitter, or even slightly mineral-like. So why would water companies want different pH levels? Sometimes they don't choose that. Natural mineral waters get much of their pH from the minerals and geology they encounter underground. Purified water companies have more control. They can remove minerals during purification and then add certain minerals or electrolytes back, which can change both the taste and the final pH. And some brands deliberately market a higher pH as alkaline water because that's something consumers are willing to pay for. But here's the important part. pH isn't a score for how good the water is. A 9 isn't automatically better than a 7. It simply tells us something about the chemistry of that water. And now I want to know what else is actually dissolved in these 6 waters. So the pH test is only part of the puzzle. It doesn't tell us how much dissolved material is in the water. For that, we need a completely different kind of measurement. It's called TDS. So this is a TDS meter, and TDS stands for total dissolved solids, and basically gives us an idea of how much dissolved stuff is floating around in the water that we can't see. Things like calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, minerals, and other dissolved ions. And here's the important part. A higher number really doesn't mean the water is dirtier. It might just mean there are more minerals in it. So now I want to see something. After everything these companies do to purify, filter, and supposedly improve their water, what's really hiding in there? Let's find out. So first up is Dasani. So I dropped the meter in, gave it a few seconds to settle, and we got 34 parts per million. Okay, so that gives us our starting point. Let's see how the others compare. Next is Evian, and this one kind of surprised me a little bit. Evian came in at 30.4 parts per million, actually slightly lower than Dasani. So then I tested Smartwater. This time the number climbed to 42 parts per million. So now we're starting to see some real differences between waters that, sitting on the shelf, basically look identical. Then came Core, and this one jumped big time, 84 parts per million. That's twice what we measured in Smartwater, and so far, the highest reading of the entire test. So now remember, that doesn't mean Core is dirty. It tells us this sample has more dissolved ions registering on the meter. And then I tested Aquafina. I honestly thought something was wrong with the meter. 7, just 7 parts per million. So I checked it again and got essentially the same result. That is dramatically lower than everything we've tested so far. So what's that mean? And finally, my tap water. No fancy bottle, no purification story on the label, just straight from the tap. And it came in at 53 parts per million, which means my tap water actually registered higher than Dasani, Evian, and Smartwater, but still well below Core. So there it is, you guys. Aquafina was by far the lowest at just 7 parts per million, while Core came in at 84, the highest reading in the test. And somehow my tap water came in higher than 3 of the bottled waters. But remember, higher doesn't mean worse, and lower doesn't mean better. What it does tell us is that these waters are definitely not all the same. Okay, so we've tested the taste, right? And we've measured the pH, and we've even looked at what's dissolved in the water. But all 6 of these still look exactly the same. So now let's take a much closer look. I'm putting every one of them under the microscope, starting at 40 times magnification and working all the way up to 1,000 times. And I'm looking for anything that separates one water from another. Minerals, particles, crystals, debris. So let's start with Smartwater. Alrighty, first up is Smartwater at 40 times magnification. And right away, you guys, most of what you're seeing here is not contamination. That large outline is simply the edge of the water trapped underneath the cover slip. And most of these round structures are tiny air bubbles. So what I'm looking for at this magnification are larger particles, fibers, sediment, or anything, suspended in the water that you can see. And honestly, this looks pretty good. Let's bump up to 100 times. At 100 times, those tiny bubbles become much easier to see, along with a few scattered particles. But here's something important. Just because we can see a particle doesn't really mean it's dangerous. At this magnification, we can see that something is there, but we can't identify exactly what it is just by looking at it. So far, Smartwater still looks pretty damn clean. Now we actually have something worth pointing out here at 400 times. I found something completely different. That long strand running through the image looks like a fiber. Fibers can come from clothing, paper, dust, the bottle itself, or even the process of preparing the microscope slide. So finding one doesn't automatically mean it came from the water. What I'm paying attention to is whether we start seeing these repeatedly across different samples or different areas of the slide. So at 1,000 times, we're basically looking right at that same fiber. You can see material attached to the side of it, but there's no honest way for me to tell you exactly what that material is from the image alone. So under the microscope, Smartwater was actually pretty uneventful. A few particles, plenty of air bubbles, and one fiber-like strand. But nothing here that I can honestly call a red flag. Alrighty, we're at Aquafina 40 times, and remember, this had the lowest TDS reading of all 6 waters at just 7 parts per million. What's up with that? And at 40 times, honestly, there's not much going on here. A few tiny particles, some air bubbles, but overall pretty damn clear. So at 100 times, we can see a little more, a few small particles scattered around, but still nothing that really jumps out at me. But then I moved up to 400 times, and now we're starting to see something, finally. There are these little blue pieces scattered around the sample. Whatever they are, they're picking up that stain really well. So 1,000 times, what the hell is that? That was definitely not what I expected to find in the water with the lowest TDS reading. It's a pretty good sized piece of something, and you can actually see all the texture running through it. Now, I'm not gonna pretend I know exactly what this thing is, but it's there, and the methylene blue sure as hell made it stand out. And guess what? You're drinking this. Okay guys, next up is core. And remember, this one had the highest TDS reading, which was 84. But at 40 times, there's really not much here. It's boring. It actually looks pretty damn clean. I do see this long strand running across the sample. Not sure what that is yet, but so I moved up to 100 times, and there it is again. You can see that strand a lot better now. It almost looks like a fiber, but I'm not gonna call it that because honestly, I don't know. So now 400 times, this is where things get weird. Look at these little pieces. They're everywhere. Some are straight, some are curved, and I definitely wasn't seeing this at the lower magnification. And then at 1,000 times, I came across this thing. I have no clue what this is. It's a pretty good size piece of something, but it doesn't look anything like we just saw in Aquafina. And that's what makes this interesting. Aquafina had the lowest TDS, core had the highest, and under the microscope, they look completely different. Alrighty, here we go. We're with Dasani at 40 times, and this one came in at 34 parts per million. And at 40 times, the first thing I noticed was this long blue strand right here. I'm not sure what it is, but let's get closer. So 100 times, there's definitely more going on here. Most of these little circles are probably just air bubbles from making the slide, but there are a few darker pieces in here too. So now at 400 times, those darker pieces are starting to come into focus. And you can see how much of that blue stain they really picked up. I still don't know what they are, so let's keep going. So now we're at 1,000 times, and there's a pretty good sized chunk of something sitting right there. What the hell is that? And right next to it is another piece that looks kind of completely different, but I have no idea. It could be fiber, could be cloth, could be anything, but either way, I'm sure as hell wasn't expecting to see this. Next up is Evian. And honestly, at 40 times, there's not much here. Just a few little specks scattered around, pretty clean. But when I moved up to 100 times, I found this long strand. And this one definitely stood out, so I wanted to get a closer look. Now 400 times, look at this damn thing. You can actually see the strands running through it, almost like a tiny piece of fiber. Or is it hair? I don't know. I'm not saying that what it is, but that's sure as hell what it looks like. So at 1,000 times, you can really see the structure. There are these long strands running side by side, and then this thicker section right here where everything bunches together. What is it? Honestly, I don't know. But guess what? You're drinking this one too. But considering how empty Evian looks at 40 times, I definitely didn't expect to end up here. Okay, so now we're at my tap water, and at 40 times, there's already quite a bit going on here, you guys. And that big circle is just an air bubble, so ignore that. But look at all this little stuff around it. So now at 100 times, there's a lot more here than I thought. And yeah, I'm drinking it this time. Those big circles, again, are just air bubbles, but look in between them, there are little specks all over the place. Then I spotted this blue piece right here. I don't know what it is, but it really picked up the stain. So I followed it a little closer. Okay, look at this thing. We're 1,000 times and you can actually see all these little strands coming apart. It almost looks like a tiny piece of fabric or something. I don't know, but that's pretty damn interesting. And guess what? Came out of my tap water. Nice. So what did we learn today, guys? Well, for something that looks as simple as bottled water, there's actually a lot going on here. Different pH, different TDS, and definitely different under the microscope. Does that mean one is safer than the others? No, these tests can't really tell us that. But one thing is pretty clear, bottled water isn't all the same. And after seeing all of this, I'm definitely gonna look at that bottle a little differently next time I grab one.